Wojciechowski, and Zach Shields.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 8:30 on this Wednesday, halfway through the week. Thanks for joining us. The sun is out, and that means the heat is starting to rise.
I know. I like when we see those cloudy mornings. It kind of makes you think that you're going to get a slight cool down, and no,
doesn't happen.
Yeah, we've had that the last couple of days. We even had some pop-up showers each afternoon, but we were still in triple-digit territory. When you're in the 100s this time of year, it's hard to get out of that weather pattern. Taking a peek outside with our live sky cam, yeah, it's pretty. This time of year, you know, it's going to be hot and steamy in no time. We are tracking this low moving in South Texas that may provide enough energy and moisture to move on in to generate some rain clouds, mainly east of I-35. We'll have plenty of sunshine heat to go around if you're traveling across the state. Got a flight out of ABIA this morning. We're in great shape. Now, late in the day, there could be some pop-up showers that could cause some minor delays. Fog causing some issues in San Francisco. Rain and storms possibility from Chicago all the way down toward Atlanta. The storm corridor still going strong from Minneapolis to Chicago. That's where we find the storm track. For us, we're banking on the sea breeze to help generate a few showers. They're not coming at us from the northwest or the north like earlier in the week, but they're going to come at us from the southeast. The prime locations from Bastrop eastward. Even if the showers collapse and never reach us here in the Austin Metro, at least we'll get that gust front or the rain-cooled breeze late in the day. Before that occurs, we're heading for 103, a 20% chance of a pop-up shower hitting your neighborhood here in the Austin area. Slightly better chance over our eastern counties. Now, looking way down the road, I do see some heat relief and a better chance of rain. We'll break down that 7-day forecast for you in just a few moments, but right now, send it over to Danielle with the latest in traffic.
Thank you, Zach, and good morning to you at home. Mobile 7 is in South Austin, checking out the slow inbound commute along I-35 near Slaughter Lane. And according to our real-time sensors, the northbound drive from here to downtown is currently 23 minutes. And over on Mopac, there's a crash on the southbound lane approaching Highway 183 that is adding to the already slow inbound drive. And APD is on scene of a crash on West 35th Street just east of Mopac, so prepare to slow down there as well. Over on Highway 183, the south to north turnaround at Baum Road is closed for road work. If I can get the map again. Crews are expecting to wrap that up by Friday at 6 p.m. So you'll need to follow the posted detour signs. Also on the map, I'm showing farther north along the highway. Just keep in mind the southbound frontage road will be one lane only between Highway 290 and Manor Road. That's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So expect delays during those hours. Now switching to a live lookout at Highway 183. There is a crash blocking two northbound lanes near Lamar that is causing a big backup to Cameron Road. My next look at your commute at 9.
Developing news this morning, investigators are looking into a deadly fire in Bastrop County. Around 1 a.m., crews were called out to a house fire in Page. Once firefighters were able to go inside, they found a body. After the flames were put out, they found a second body inside the home. Both victims appear to be female. The cause of that fire is under investigation. We do have a crew headed there to the scene, and we'll have more for you later on today.
School starts in less than a month, and Austin ISD is reminding parents that students must have their vaccinations before the first day of class. The first day of school is August 21st for Austin students. If a child doesn't have the needed vaccines before them, he or she will not be allowed to return to class. The Texas Department of Health requires students be up to date on their vaccinations unless an exemption has been filed. The CDC reports 16 diseases that are preventable with childhood vaccines, including chickenpox, the flu, hepatitis A and B, and tetanus.
The reason we vaccinate kids very young is because they're very vulnerable to infections. We know that when you're born, you're essentially born without the ability to fight infections well on your own. And so as you are exposed to germs, you really have no ability to fight them off. In that first few months of life, your body's still trying to figure out what's foreign and what's me. And so it's really turned off the ability to fight foreign infection. And so what we do is we try and help spur on their immune reaction by giving them exposure to things we call vaccines that really trigger the immune response to start fighting infections.
In Europe, France is ending the debate over whether children should be vaccinated because it's now the law. Starting next year, vaccinations will become mandatory for all children there. Today, Planned Parenthood will push for more rights at the state capitol. The organization says several bills up for debate during the special session will reduce access to reproductive health care. Officials also worry the measures will create a burden for abortion providers with new requirements and ban insurance coverage for abortion. Today's Capitol takeover will include meetings with lawmakers to push for continued funding. The all-day event starts at 10 this morning.
Well, Republicans will take another crack at repealing the Affordable Care Act after winning a dramatic vote to begin debate. It included an appearance by Senator John McCain, his first since being diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. Fox's Douglas Zader has the latest.
All of the drama so far has been about just beginning the debate in the Senate. Now the debate is underway, but where it heads is anyone's guess.
Finally, you think that's easy? That's not easy.
President Trump with a rare understatement at a campaign-style rally last night in Ohio. But for the Trump faithful, he and Senate Republicans have at least started to deliver on a campaign promise, repealing Obamacare.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the motion is agreed to.
The Senate did vote to start the debate on repealing the Affordable Care Act, a significant hurdle, but it wasn't easy. Vice President Mike Pence had to preside and cast a tie-breaking vote. And Arizona's Senator John McCain had to fly in to cast his vote, an emotional return to the Senate floor after being diagnosed with brain cancer just last week. And while siding with his GOP colleagues, he also made an appeal for bipartisanship.
Let's return to regular order. We've been spinning our wheels on too many important issues because we keep trying to find a way to win without help from across the aisle.
But the next step could be even harder, actually passing a plan to repeal and replace Obamacare, and Democrats will fight.
Anyone who thinks this is over is sadly mistaken.
Still, for President Trump, it is a victory at a time when he needs points on the board, especially given the unrest right now in the administration and questions about whether he's going to fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions for recusing himself from ongoing investigations into Russian election interference.
But I am disappointed in the Attorney General. He should not have recused himself almost immediately after he took office. And if he was going to recuse himself, he should have told me prior to taking office, and I would have quite simply picked somebody else.
Now, among other things, the president says he wants his Attorney General to be more aggressive in pursuing leaks within the administration. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
And rumors have been circling that Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's considering stepping down. The department spokesperson denies those claims, saying he's committed to staying in office and recognizes there's still a lot of work to do. Tillerson has meetings scheduled for the rest of the week.
Paul Manafort will not testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee today in the investigation into Russia's meddling in the election. The panel withdrew its subpoena for President Trump's former campaign chairman after he agreed to turn over documents. He also says he'll continue to negotiate, setting up an interview with lawmakers. Yesterday, Manafort met behind closed doors with Senate Intelligence Committee staffers to answer their questions. Donald Trump Jr. has been removed from the list of witnesses scheduled for today's public hearing.
Energy Secretary Rick Perry gets fooled by a pair of Russian pranksters. The former Texas governor talked to the men who were impersonating the Ukrainian prime minister. They discussed the Paris Climate Accord and the possibility of using pig manure as a power source in the 22-minute conversation. That entire phone call was posted online by a Russian news site. The Energy Department says the duo targets high-level officials and celebrities. Other victims include Congresswoman Maxine Waters and Senator John McCain.
8:39 right now. Investigators believe 8 fire calls in a 30-minute window Monday afternoon were all caused by lightning strikes. 5 ended up being structure fires. These all happened in Cedar Park and Leander, putting a strain on area fire departments. But nearby agencies did help, including AFD. As for house fires caused by lightning strikes, fire officials say there's not much you can do other than be prepared.
Have an evacuation plan. Have a meeting place. Make sure that you're able to safely get your pets and yourself out.
The Leander Fire Department says data shows there haven't been any abnormality this year when it comes to lightning fires in the area.
And Leander firefighters are being hailed as heroes after they were able to rescue some animals from a house fire. Crews responded to that fire on Lookout Range Monday during a storm that swept through the area. The homeowner told the fire lieutenant Tony Anguiano that a kitten and cat were inside. They managed to find those pets and used special pet masks to give them oxygen. And thankfully, Rainbow Cupcake and Buttersworth are recovering.
And I would say it's pretty neat that someone took the time to design something specifically for animals.
Glad they were able to get inside and save Rainbow Cupcake and Buttersworth. Yes.
Love the names. Love the names. Yeah, this time of year it gets so hot. When you're 103, 104, there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So when those storms pop up, that lightning gets really intense, the cloud to ground lightning. And we could be tracking some more lightning later on today with shower and storms starting to increase down to our southeast. Right now it's pretty tranquil on our radar network, but as things heat up in the upper 90s to near 100 degrees, some storm clouds could bubble up. We'll check out future radar and break down that toasty 7-day forecast next.